Okay. All right, just a little warm up until, I'm a little early, until the chat gets populated. Just working on some doubles. Stick control book, page 3, line 3, page 5. I'm alternating the right hand on the floor tom-tom. So I'm playing the 1, E, and 2, E, and continuing that. Hey Jim, how are you? I guess you could hear me, right? Okie doke. Anyway, I really need to talk to you on the phone, Jim. So would that be okay if I call you after the lesson? And I'm waiting for it to populate. Anyway, we were working on doubles last night. And I was sharing with everybody my experience, how I got doubles. And it wasn't easy. It was hours and hours of practicing. I would just play right, left, right, left 17 billion times a day until I felt the rebound. And the rebound you will feel. I can't really explain that, okay? The rebound. So, in my opinion, a good exercise to develop the doubles, and it's not as boring as just playing doubles by themselves. If we go to page, let's go to page 13. All right, we're on page 13. And no, that's not where I want to go. Sorry. What I want to do is take, say for example, one of the lines. 1 and 2 and now, believe it or not, there's an accent. There's a slight accent. Let me see, that's a better term. Slight accent on the first stroke of a double. Now, when I'm playing my doubles at this point, I'm thinking 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now you can't really hear, but if I get up a little faster. Who's this? Double kick. Mike, how you doing? Oh. Uncle Matt. I guess we're related, I guess, right? Anyway, 2 ways to develop well, there's a lot of ways to exercise to develop the doubles. And one way is just straight ahead. You can play them as eighth notes or 16th notes. I prefer to go into it with 16. It says 1, E, and da. Now at that point, there's no stroke and rebound. The rebound comes automatically up, rather, excuse me. 1, E, and da. See, when I go down, I follow the stick back. Okay? And my hand is actually faster than the stick. So I'll sit there with a variety of tempos. And I'll do that for, I don't know. Hey, Pete. Good for you, Pete. Hey, Pete, did you get my email? Now, what I'm doing there is I'm actually just playing doubles constantly. Pete, did you get my email? I'm playing 16ths. And I'll get a tempo on a metronome, and I'll do that for a long period of time. 2, 3, 4 minutes, okay? Now, a better way that the rebound, the better way to get a rebound is when I'm playing the doubles, I'm starting 1, E. Now, I would start this double starting on the E. 1, E, and the 2. And the doubles will start. You'll feel the rebound there. It'll start coming, and you'll feel it, and you keep playing it. That's just, one or two different ways to attempt the double. The stick control book is a gem for that. If I go to page, and I said, 13 before? Oh, no, not 13. Where are we? Here, let's go to 13. Page 13, okay? Let's do line 5. Now again, you know the process with the vamp, okay? And, it's a 4 measure increment. I'll play line 5 the way it's written. I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. And then at the end of that, I'll tag on a vamp. Now we know what the vamp is for line 5. Fourth measure. That's what's written. Now the vamp, what I'm going to do, and I'll extend this. I'll play this on the pad or on the snare drum at a variety of tempos. I'm going to play the line, 3, 4, 10 times, whatever. And then when I feel like tagging a vamp onto the line, what I'm going to do is that last measure I'm going to use as the vamp. Let me take it from the last measure of the line. I'm playing the last measure of the line would be, line 5 would be 1 E and the 2 and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now that is the end of line 5. But now I'm going to tag a vamp on line 5, so I'm going to have 1 E and the 2 E and the for 4 measures. 2, 3, 4, back. Last time. Vamp. Do we understand? understand that, gentlemen? You understand what I'm doing? I play the line, I tag a vamp on it. I use that last measure for 4 measures and go back to the beginning of the line. Now, once I've done that, for a while, I'll extend the vamp, for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And I'll just constantly play doubles for 3 or 4 minutes and go back to the line. I'll sit there and go. Vamp. Now. Now, keep going. And I'll just play the vamp over and over again. Okay? And that's just one way. But that's the endurance exercise. Drumstick. I got to get some gloves with the sleeve in it so I can put my hand. I can put the sticks in here, and I'm not gonna drop them. That was a joke. All right, now, you hang out. You develop an endurance for the doubles. One great exercise, though, is you're playing 1 E and the. Start it like this: 1 E and the, 2 E and the, 3 E and the, 4. Okay, got it? Now, triplet roll. A little confusion with this. All I'm doing is I'm doubling the 8th note triplet. I'm taking an 8th note triplet. 2, 3, 4, 1 and the 2. That's 8th note triplet, single strokes. Now I'm going to double. What's this, Mr. Double Kick? I gotta approve it. I don't know why they do that. Did you use a curse word? Okay. I didn't do anything for that. I just, I expand on the stick control. How are you, Kyle? Or who's that? Kalo? Ken? Kenny Rose. Are you the guy that has all the play-alongs? You're selling play-alongs? Anyway, let me give you my email. Again. Come on. Okay, now, let me put my email in there. Now, all right, Kenny, that's my email. Email me, I'll put you on my mailing list, and you will receive PDFs and locations and times for the live lessons. Right now, I've just been doing 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. here on YouTube. But sometime next year, I'm moving back to my website because it's under construction. So I'm using this for right now. In the meantime, all you gentlemen that have been giving me contributions, donations, I sincerely appreciate it. But you can go to my website and just sign up. It's so much easier than me asking all the time. Anyway, the triplet roll. Let me have some water, please. I'm just doubling the 8th note triplet. I'm playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now, when I play it as a triplet roll, I'm going to double the stroke. 1 and 2 and Do we understand that? Doubling it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I did want to do a lesson with that triplet roll today. And we're going to go to stick control book. And we're going to do the substitution thing again. And we're going to use the triplet roll. See, I don't know, guys. It's like I do give a tremendous amount of things out here. And I don't know if I overwhelm you too much. You know, you want me to slow down? Yes, no, maybe. Instead of giving you all these new things, you stay on one thing for a while, talk about it. I don't get too many questions in the chat. If I get more questions in the chat, I will, stay longer and get in depth. Like I said, I'm populating my website for instructional videos, which are going to be available for purchase. No outrageous price, $150, $250, so no more than $3, and you get a PDF with it. But anyway, let's go back to the triplet roll and interpreting the stick control book. We look at the first line, that's page 5, line 1. And again, we have straight up and down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so I say, okay, I want to swing that. So now I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I eliminate the lefts. That gives me 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. Now instead of me playing the rights with my right hand, I'm going to play the rights with the bass drum. So I'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and got it? Now on top, we're going to play the triplet roll. And with the bass drum, we're going to reference off that line 1 of page 5, as all the rights become the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, you got it. All right. Now, the second line, we're going to swing it. We play it as written, sticking pattern. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and So we eliminate the lefts and we played all the rights with the bass drum, which would give me 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Who's this? Well, the 16th note pattern, that's going to be a little complicated right now. I will explain that in another lesson there, Pete. But right now, this is just very basic for guys who haven't experienced the triplet roll. So I'm on line 2, okay? And I'm going to nail the bass drum now instead of 1 and 2 and I'm going to nail it on the does. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, so I'm doing the triplet roll on top. 1 and 2. Now let me explain what you just said there, Pete. What I'm doing is 16th note roll, the 16th notes in a roll formation. Right, left, left, right, left. But I'm thinking, and it's an easier way to teach, as the 16th, as an 8th note pattern. It's a way to count it. It's 1. Now to the 1, I just got 2 notes. That's 16ths. And, That's 6 notes. If I played it as the 16th note triplets, it's kind of hard to think that way right now, especially if you're just learning it. So let me take the snares off here. I got to work on this snare drum or use my other snare drums. This snare drum is like just about over 20-something years old. It's a great snare drum. It's a DW brass edge snare drum. So now I'm going to do line 1. I want to do it slow. You can hear this better. Can you hear that better instead of the buzz or the ringing? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Second measure. Line 1. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Second line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So on and so forth. And I go back to the beginning. Do we understand that? Now, Pete, what you're saying there is absolutely great. It really is. Okay, maybe you could write that out and email it to me. Maybe I'm not considering that the same thing. All right, so now if I'm playing triplet roll, here you go. I'm going to play the bass drum. If I do number 3, 1 and 2, 3 and sorry, 1 and 2 and bang, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're going to go tonight to the syncopation book, but that's it for now for the stick control book. And I just worship the stick control book. It is the Bible. What I like to do with the doubles, I do like the duple as a 16th note, 1 E and 1 E. I'm taking the first note of the double, 1 E and the 2 E. 3 E and the 4 E. And I go to the second measure. This time, instead of hitting the first right, the 1 on the floor, it's 1 E and the 2 E and the. And I go back to the 1. It's a good exercise to have fun with. Now tonight, I'm going to do sort of a review, okay, because it's the last lesson of the week until Monday. So kind of gather your questions, write them down, and ask them in the chat. I like to do a very long lesson tonight, but if I have no questions, I can't do that. You know, we did a lot with the triplets, we did a lot with the doubles just today, but next week, we're going to work with time signatures in the morning. Well, I mean in the morning, 1 p.m. And we are going to work out of the workbook starting Monday. So gather some things that you want to work on from the workbook. All right, the workbook. You want number 6, you want number 2, you want number 10. You know, and if the majority will rule. The more I get as saying I want number 6 or number 5, if 4 people say they want 5 and 6 people say they want 6, well, we're going to work with 6. Okay, but it's nice to go in there. I'm not going to go from page 1 to 2 to 3. That is boring, and that kind of does nothing for your development. Do we have any questions at this point? And Jim, I will call you as soon as I finish the lesson. Okay? Pete, hope I help somebody. You should have it by then, absolutely, Mike. If you don't, I apologize. If you don't, I'll send you the PDF of your choice. Okay, you should have it though by Monday. Any questions, anybody? Pete, you might not have your workbook, all right, because I can't send it out until things clear. Jim, you definitely have all the workbooks. Jim is the only one that's buying 10 workbooks from me. Thank you, Jim. And Kyle, I do have a workbook if you're going to come and frequent this. I do this 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on this site. And I put together a workbook with 12 symbol ostinato patterns and working with the Shafee patterns. And we're going to be working for them. Okay, any questions? Get your questions together then for tonight, because I really want to spend a lot of time tonight on the lesson. I want to get involved. Not that I'm not, I don't want to choke this. Let's see how it sounded. There. There's this. All right. Put your questions together, and I'll see everybody tonight. Hey, Jim, I'm going to call you in about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Is that okay? Anybody wants to call me, here's my phone number. Don't call me 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry. I used to use, for a very long time, the Fusion, Vader Fusion. Then Innovative Percussion, we were in communication, and they sent me a pair of sticks which I like, they're innovative, and they're called IPCR Cool Ride. Now, I want to tell you something. I met them at NAMM, and they sent me a brick of sticks, plus a variety of different sticks. But I wanted these particular sticks. You know, I used to buy Vader bricks of sticks, or even Vic Firth. Out of the whole brick, now you know what a brick is, maybe 10 pair of sticks. I used the Vader, maybe 4 pairs would be okay, but the other pairs were like, one was heavy on the top, one was heavier on the bottom. You know, it was hard to work with them. So Innovative sent me a brick of sticks, and I opened up the brick, and I said, this can't be right. Every stick is almost perfect. So I've been using this. They're made of hickory. It's a good stick, a good feel for my hands. Well, if that works for you, that's great. Now, let me tell you something. I was at the doctor's this morning, and I'm going to have to get a sponge ball for my left hand because it's getting weaker, and I have to squeeze that like this. I'm going to be squeezing the sponge ball on and off to get my strength back. So I feel it when I'm playing with the left hand. I mean, I can do that. That's not a problem. But I have no control over those bottom fingers, and I need to get that control back. Or else I have to revert to this. And I can't even do that either. So something is wrong. All right, anyway, we'll see everybody tonight. 7 p.m. And Vader does make a good stick. Don't misunderstand me. I don't particularly care for Vic Firth. or Promark. But I rather, out of all the sticks before Innovative, is Vader. Okay? Anyway, gentlemen, tonight, 7 p.m., come up with your questions, please.